Hey y'all, this is J. Marie Booklets. I am the author of Steps to Becoming a Health Unit Coordinator and also Steps to Becoming a Medical Secretary, a step-by-step guide to working in the hospital. But today we're going to talk about visitors, okay? So, it's just one of those things we have to deal with as a unit secretary. I don't care what department you work on, you're going to deal with visitors. Visitors can be friends, they can be family, it could be anything. But today I'm going to talk about friends and family. And, it depends on what's going on and what kind of dynamics the patient has going on and who they hang with and things like that. Friends, most hospitals don't stop people from letting visitors come and visit them when they're there. But the way a person is, their friends are too. Like that's just how it is. They're friends and family. I guess because I'm in the medical field and a lot of my family we're in the medical field, so we know how to act when we go to a hospital. Like when my grandfather was dying, we knew how to act because my mom's a nurse, my aunt's a nurse, I got a cousin that's a nurse. We know how to act in the hospital because children, because he was in ICU, so we were, even though we knew to wait out in the waiting room and not all of us can go in there and at the same time, things like that. But you have people who don't care. They don't care that somebody's in ICU and it's not just a regular floor, okay? And even some people don't care as a regular floor. Down here in South Florida, we have people who, after church, the whole church come up and see somebody that's in the hospital. And like when I say the whole church, I mean the whole church, okay? The church, everybody, like 100 people. All y'all can't go in that room. Ain't no room big enough. Okay, no room in the hospital big enough. No hospital room big enough for 100 people, 50 people, 30 people, children, men, women, children. Is no hospital room. But here they all come. Just like, so, I mean, what do you do? And we at the point where, now, where I used to work, because on the floor I worked on, it used to be like that every Sunday. Here they come. And when I went over to the ICU was a closed unit. You had to be buzzed in. And so we didn't really have that problem. I mean, we had a few times because it was our job to let them in, let them out, let people in. And it was supposed to be 2 at a time. But it just depends. Now, if it was 3 people, all together, then, the 3 of them can go in and see the patient. But if it was a lot of people, it was 2 at a time. If it's like, Papa, he dying, Grandpa, he dying. And, the kids don't came from all over and it's 5 kids and 20 grandkids. Then, you got to do 2 at a time. And we would tell them 2 at a time. Or if a patient had open heart surgery and they had family out there, maybe 7, 8 people or whatever, 2 at a time, come in, especially when they just came out of surgery. We would let the family come in, see them, and then you gotta go. Just go home because we're doing recovery. The patient won't remember this, so no need for you to even be here at the hospital. But you got some people, they don't care. Is all of us going in at the same time? Now, if a person was dying, that's different. Let them in the room. And, even with the babies, we didn't allow children in the ICU. You shouldn't have children in the hospital anyway, unless they were a patient. But, people had children all in the hospital. And, when, Paw was dying, then, let them in. Because, pull the curtain, close the door, and let them do, say their goodbyes. So, there are times when you let a lot of people in, and there are times you don't, and then there's some people that just don't care. Okay, they coming up in there. Okay, and then you have letting visitors, families stay the night. You got people who want to stay the night in the hospital. We, like I said, I worked on two types of floor. I worked on the med surge floor. I worked in the ICU. Med surge, there was really no need for anybody to stay the night. First of all, those rooms were semi-private. Now they changed it and made them all private, you know. But like you're on the med surge floor, you going home tomorrow. Like nobody needs to stay here, even though down here in South Florida we have, you know, sometimes it was a nursing home, and they ain't had no family, so like why no one needs to stay here. This is med surge floor. They're going home tomorrow. Matter of fact, they should have went home today, but they was fighting it. Okay, they was fighting the discharge. Okay, they should have left. They should have been gone 3 hours ago. But anyway, we don't know all that. So, you know, I remember I had this lady come up to me, and she was like, she was a lesbian, and her partner was a lesbian, and was in the room, and she came and asked me, you know, she felt like, well, she came and told me she felt like she was being discriminated against because she could not, she had spoke to the nurse or the charge nurse, and they said that she could not stay the night with her partner. And I said, well, no. I said, it's not because, you know, you're a lesbian. I said, it's because the rooms are semi-private. We don't let anyone stay the night. You know, like, because how would the next person? Because, honey, the stories you don't hear about, you know, you got this patient on this side of the curtain, and then this patient and her boyfriend on this side of the curtain, and what they doing on that side of the curtain. Oh, you know. So, you know, because people ain't got no, people nasty. Okay. But you know, so it's like, no, it had, and I'm like, did you talk to the nurse and the charge nurse, and you coming to the secretary? Okay, I look like I know something, I can do something. I said, no, that's not why. I said, it's because it's semi-private, you know, and plus it's med surge. Like, I ain't say all that, but you know, I was like, they're going, is she here for a UTI or something? Like something, they even life threatening. Okay. When it's life threatening, then you come talk, okay? And then, of course, I went over to the ICU, and we had some where we let you know, because it was ICU, we really didn't let family stay overnight unless, like, it just all depended. And we didn't, like, I worked the day shift, so I don't know. We will always defer to the night shift, because the night shift, we like, ask the night shift when they get here if you can stay. Because the night shift is going to be there all night with you. And sometimes it just all depended if they let them stay in the room, because those rooms were private rooms, because it's ICU. And even though the other one, they was semi, I don't know, but anyway. But like, if it was like, if they were young, so like we had a situation where it was a young couple, the husband had a heart attack, and they had young children. They were like, they weren't even from here. They were on vacation, and they were down here in Florida, and the husband had a heart attack, and you know, so we let the wife stay because they were young. They were like in their 40s, you know. So we let the wife stay in the room, and then I think the kids, the family came and stayed with the kids, and then took the kids back, you know. But she stayed, the wife stayed. So we let her stay in the room because this man young. This man is like 40s. He ain't, you know. And we let her stay in the room. And usually they stay in the room because they right by the side. I probably would have been too, okay? My husband, I would have been right there by his side. And especially they're not from here, because like, where's she going to stay? Where's she going to stay? Yeah. So, because they from out of town, right? So it's just one of those things. And then sometimes the night shift, they stayed in the waiting room. They told them, no, you can't stay in here, because it just all depended what was going on, and I guess how the patient was, and they were like, and they would stay in the waiting room, you know. And we had a little small waiting room, and they would sleep in there. They would give them a blanket and pillow. They could sleep in there, but they wouldn't let them stay in the room. So it all depends. But that's not something that we deal with. We don't make that decision. We always defer to the charge nurse, whoever's in charge. And like when they would come to me and ask, I would say, you know, you have to ask the night charge nurse when they get here, because it would be, you know, during the day. You have to ask the night charge nurse. if you can stay, and things like that. Um, and then sometimes you gotta call security on folks. You gotta do that. You gotta make that call. Kick people out because they in there tripping. And yeah, I don't did that. Look, I'll go anywhere. Look, don't even try it. Okay. I'm not one of those that stuff going on and I'm scared of my own shadow and let me go get the charge nurse. Look, I will call security quick and in a hurry. Okay, I know the number. That was my thing. I know the number because when I worked on the one floor, I called security so much. And the police department because they were right up the street. Okay, I called security. I know the security number. I know because you gotta call it like overhead if it's like a code. They're getting violent. You need a lot of people, and then I knew security number, and then I knew the number to the police station. Okay, so bring it. Okay, yeah. Okay, call it. Sometimes people gotta get kicked out, and then later on we got panic buttons. And I think it was a situation once, and security didn't even come. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, we were on our own. And I told y'all the story about I forgot what video. I guess it was the video. I'm gonna post a link to it. When I was talking about violence, I think I was talking about violence and the health unit coordinator, and I was telling the story about the family member who threatened to kill the doctor, and it was a big old whoop-de-doo, and then the administration was like, oh, you gotta let them come in and see the family. We was like, are you crazy? Oh, okay. It was a mess. That whole situation was a mess. And we were afraid for our lives. And I didn't, and what was so scary about it is that half of us didn't know what he looked like because we weren't there when he was there acting a fool. So then when he made the threat and now we all scared, half of us don't know what he looked like. We don't, oh man, I'm telling you that day, everybody that came to the door, we were like, okay, so we had a code. I said, look, if I see somebody, because they kind of gave us a description of what he looked like. I was like, if I see him, okay, I'm a hoo-doo-hoo, and then I'm running. Okay, like we all had where we were gonna run to. Like we did not. This man threatened to kill a doctor. Okay, and we sent the police to his house. It was a mess. Okay, but we all had our code. We all had our places we were running. Okay, not up in here because people, and actually we had security sit out there. Security sat out there. Now that I think about it, security was out there in case he came up there, but he never came. He just cut up for those 2 days, and then he never came back because he knew he was wrong. He knew he was wrong. But his wife kept coming up in there, but okay, and then she didn't like me because I didn't make eye contact her when she came in because you crazy. Because you crazy and your husband crazy. Okay, but anyway. She like me because I made eye contact with her. Okay, you lucky I let you in here. Okay, that's what you need. You lucky I pushed that button and let you in here. Okay, shoot. Okay, y'all here cutting up and I don't even know what the man look like. Okay, we scared. We petrified in here. So, sometimes you gotta dial that number and get them out of there before it get worse. So, you don't kick nobody out. You don't tell nobody to get out. You just call the number. You do your chain of command. We always talk about chain of command. If your charge nurse is not doing anything or they're not there and you feel threatened or whatever, you dial that number and get them out of there. And that's about it. So, put your comments below. Tell me about any experience you ever had with visitors. And don't get me wrong, the majority of the visitors are they perfect. You don't even remember them because they perfect. It's all the ones that come in there acting the food that you remember. It's like the people who are sick and they want to get better and you don't remember them because they take their medicine. They don't give the nurses any problems. They're not on the call light. They're not all out in your face. If the doctor says you need to get up and walk the unit, they get out and walk. They are compliant. It's the people who are not compliant. It's the family members, the friends who are just ugh. That's what we're talking about. But the majority of the visitors are fine. You know, they bring in the balloons and they go in the room and they see the family. You know, whoever's there and this and that. They give you no problem. Those are the ones we want. It's the mothers that give us problems. And it's actually just a small number that just give you a headache. So, but like I said, if you had any weird experiences, put it in the comments below. You know, of course, don't leave any names or any HIPAA information. But you can also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And you can also follow me on my blog. It's jmariebooklist.com. Is where I talk about being a healthy coordinator. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.